Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, and it's obviously from her husband.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, you know, half Puerto Rican.
I make fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking.
Sunny Hostin, one of the most outspoken and polarizing voices on The View, recently found herself embroiled in a scandal so ironic it could have been pulled straight out of a satire. Known for her bold stances on race, reparations, and identity politics, Sunny has built her career on calling out racial injustice with confidence and moral conviction. Her platform is rooted in a strong sense of moral superiority, which is why her recent appearance on PBS's Finding Your Roots shocked everyone. Viewers expected a story that aligned her personal history with her public advocacy, but what she discovered was anything but that. Before we get into the juicy details, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any Hollywood gossip. As Sunny sat across from genealogist Henry Louis Gates Jr. to uncover her ancestry, she had no idea that the truth would upend her world.
I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, you know, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living.
Instead of learning about struggling immigrants or oppressed minorities in her family tree, Sunny discovered that her ancestors were actually slave owners. Yes, Sunny Hostin, a vocal advocate for reparations and critic of the legacy of slavery, learned that her family directly benefited from the very system she condemns. Her reaction? Shock, awkwardness, and a visible moment of discomfort. She blinked, clearly struggling to process the revelation. "I didn't think my family was originally from Spain or slaveholders," she stammered, almost as if the words didn't belong to her. For a brief moment, the room fell silent, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Trying to recover, Sunny muttered that it would be an interesting tidbit for her kids to learn. But let's face it, the damage was already done. Unsurprisingly, Fox News' Greg Gutfeld didn't miss the opportunity to roast Sunny.
Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice. Well, turns out she's not as oppressed as she claims she is. She's actually the descendant of slave owners.
Sunny. If irony had a trophy, he'd have claimed it effortlessly, opening his segment with a cutting remark. Sunny Hostin's ancestors were slave owners. That's like finding out a vegan secretly owns a barbecue joint. The audience erupted in laughter as Greg dug deeper, highlighting what he saw as blatant hypocrisy. Greg didn't just aim for the laughs. He called out the glaring double standard, pointing out that while Sunny is quick to condemn others for their historical connections to slavery, she seemed to brush off her own family's past. Next time Sunny pulls a race card on The View, someone's going to remind her, "At least we're not slave owner racists," he joked. But beyond the humor, Greg criticized her lack of accountability. Instead of offering an apology or reflecting on the revelation, Sunny dismissed it as just a fact of life. Social media exploded as soon as the news broke. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with reactions, many of them hilarious. One tweet read, "Sunny Hostin finding out her family were slave owners is the plot twist of the year." Another viral meme depicted Sunny with the caption, "Reparations? Let me write that check to myself real quick."
I make fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Those hens are always clucking. They get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, and then I get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, except on purpose. But every now and then, one of those dingbats inadvertently says something that reveals modern liberal thought so perfectly it deserves further study. You know, like a weird serpent that washed up on the beach and you want to poke it with a stick.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah,
you don't know all this.
Allegedly.
That's why I say it.
While some fans defended her, arguing she shouldn't be held responsible for her ancestors' actions, others called out the hypocrisy. It's not about blaming her for her ancestors, one commenter wrote. It's about the hypocrisy of shaming others while ignoring the skeletons in your own closet. Greg Gutfeld used this moment to critique the broader issue of identity politics, arguing that it oversimplifies complex issues. This is what happens when you focus so much on race, he said. You lose sight of individuals, context, and nuance. Eventually, it backfires, just like it did for Sonny. He added that personal responsibility matters more than one's ancestry. It's not about who your ancestors were, it's about what you do today.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full racist.
For years, Sunny's been lecturing others. Maybe now it's time for her to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Greg's panel had a field day with the story. One co-host quipped, if Sunny's been shaming descendants of slave owners, does she now have to shame herself? Another joked, she's so wrapped up in identity politics, and it turns out she didn't even know who she was. Some critics argued that this could have been a turning point for Sunny, a chance to spark a deeper conversation about history, identity, and accountability. Instead, she shrugged it off and pivoted away. Even her co-hosts on The View seemed unsure how to react. Whoopi Goldberg, known for her sharp humor, might have been holding back a quip like, Sunny, do you want me to get you coffee, or should we ask your slave-holding ancestors for a refill? At its core, this isn't just about Sunny. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of self-righteousness and the importance of humility. History is messy, uncomfortable, and complicated. None of us are free from its shadows, which is why it's vital to approach sensitive topics with grace, self-awareness, and a willingness to learn. As Greg Gutfeld aptly said, when you spend your life looking for racism everywhere, eventually it finds you. For Sunny, it was sitting right there in her family tree. So, what's next for Sunny Hostin? Will she confront this irony head-on or continue as if nothing happened? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this story isn't going away anytime soon. And who knows? Maybe next time she lectures America on history, she'll think twice before throwing stones from her glass ancestral house. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.